Hey friends, it's Chelsea. I completely impromptu thought, if I ever did a morning basket, what would I be putting in it? Because we have so many great books to choose from now. And we don't do a morning basket. We don't really do anything super routine in our unschooling. But if I was going to pick some things from our shelves to do a morning basket with, I thought I'd just show you what my picks would be. So firstly, we actually have a few things that Luke does routinely do for the kids at bedtime, and that's, he always is in scripture with them, and then they usually read some other story too, but we also got this prayer book for unreached peoples or places in the world where it's dangerous. There's high persecution of believers. And so this is a neat one to be able to just like pick one country or people group to focus on. And then this is something that we're reading aloud with the kids right now. And it is, I read The Pilgrim's Progress when I was younger. And this is just a beautiful edition of it for children. The illustrations are really neat, and yeah, I'm really enjoying reading this out to the kids. This is the most like fantasy we get, and it's really not fantasy, and so yeah, I feel like we're gonna reread that one over and over again and work through it a little bit at a time. And then this book here, because it focuses on all these different prophecies, that's another good one to choose, just like one a day or something like that to focus on, probably refer back to and that sort of thing. And then I think if you've seen our like homeschool resources tour, you'll have known about these cards from Tiny Theologians. We did get the Fathers of the Faith pack, and so now we have both of those, but that would be a great resource too. We have those over here. So these each just have like a little synopsis of the person's life and then something that they have been known to have said.
I don't have the one.
Hold on, bud. Let me see.
I got the man.
So these would be cool in a morning basket for sure.
I do man.
Something else. These books would also be kind of neat in a morning basket. There's obviously just the ABC factor of these, which is neat for repetition or like going through a little bit at a time. But they also have pieces of art from the Met in them. So just as like a art study, that'd be interesting. Yeah, anyways, there's just cool little bits of information in here which would be neat to like draw from. And then other than our complete children's Bible, we also have these, which are kind of like Bible storybooks. This one from Generations is their reader, which goes from Genesis to Revelation. And these two are both similar. They're really more like a Bible story devotional kind of thing. And then I feel like this one is getting around. But we found this at, where was it? Some craft store a long time ago, and picked it up, and this has become one of our favorites. I've had to repair it so many times, and it's still falling apart, but this one is one that we've come back to over and over again.
That's names of God.
Yeah.
It's called Names of God because it's the name.
Right. Well, we call it the Names of God book, but that's not really what it's called. So that kids are able to memorize the name of God. In this story is a little bit about that attribute of God, and then there's a little bit more. In each part it says, what does it mean? And then it goes into that a little bit more. And there's also like references in the Bible where you can look into it more. There's a little prayer in there. So this is just a favorite for sure. Honestly, I'll have more to say about these as we use them more frequently, I'm sure. So that was one of my thoughts. And then also, I'd probably draw from one of these, because each of these has a whole bunch of different people in them. And so we'd probably go through and pick somebody out. If we were using the cards, the Mothers and Fathers of the Faith cards, maybe we'd try to find the same person or something like that. Timothy, can I see that one real quick? There's so many people in these books that are not on the cards too, and so yeah, anyways, that would be a good reference. Another thing that I would probably want to do again is going through this one more frequently, just for recognition of more people, groups that we're not super familiar with, and there's so many good ones. Because we don't use a structured system for like, well, now we're doing history or whatever. We had a very close call just now. Noble knows how to get to the edge of the bed now when he wakes up, and so he's taken a nosedive off one time, and thankfully I thought I heard him while I was talking to the camera, and sure enough. Anyways, what I was starting to say is that we have all these awesome books that are really designed to be a history curriculum, but we use them more to pull from when we're doing our different country unit studies, or like if we're doing more research on a specific person that is also in those books. But if I was doing a morning basket for the way that we do homeschooling, I would probably incorporate those as well, at least one of them at a time. So the ones from Generation, or the elementary level Knotgrass American history books too. And then I have all sorts of fun, like more sensory type of things that I'm sure we would be using at the same time as well. Because if I was expecting them to like sit down and we were going to read through a whole bunch of different stuff routinely, I would also, I'm sure, have stuff to keep their hands busy. Okay, super quick, I'm going to show you some of the things that I would use for the kids to keep their hands busy. So we have up here a big bin full of dried garbanzo beans and scoops and things like that. So that is like my sensory bin thing. We've got this little puzzle, which is, they'd still need help with it as of right now, but I know they're gonna get that one figured out in no time. And then these little tracing chalkboards, or this tracing board up here would be a good one. We also have blocks down here, and then some other ideas. I use this Eco Dough. I tried to make my own, but with psoriasis and other autoimmune flare-ups, it's been primarily on my hands in recent years, and so I just can't do the kneading that's required for making homemade Play-Doh, which is kind of unfortunate because I'd rather make it myself, but Eco Dough is a good one. And then this is another idea, is just some stamps. We order several things online, and so when packages come, a lot of times if they pack them in with like big things of paper, you can just pull that out and save it and have like a big surface for the kids to stamp on or color on. We of course have things like colored pencils and paint supplies and crayons and things like that too. So obviously we could just do coloring pages, or Naomi recently got, yes buddy, Naomi recently got a stationery set too, so she's just been sitting down and like writing notes to friends and things like that. And then we also have these like much smaller puzzles that are just something easy and keep you busy, keep your mind engaged kind of thing. Obviously flashcards would be awesome for a morning basket too, and we have tons of math ones, got alphabet ones back here, got some continent, country kinds of things, and science ones. So that would be a good addition as well. Also, this is something that I just kind of breezed past because I was thinking read alouds when I was thinking about these books, but these smaller YWAM books would be really awesome to pick one for morning basket purposes. They're all written in verse, and they're really very nice. So I like those a lot. That would be a good one too. So those are some resources that I would definitely use if we did a morning basket. We don't do a morning basket though. And we do get into most of those resources on a regular basis anyways. So yeah, I just thought that might be interesting if you're looking for some cool resources. So if you like homeschooling or motherhood or a non-toxic journey, I have a lot of baby, like new baby and birth and postpartum preparation videos as well that you can find back in playlists. We do library hauls, just to be able to flip through and show you what we're finding at our library and some thoughts on those and all sorts of cool stuff like that. So if that's your cup of tea and you don't mind these impromptu videos, you'll want to stick around. So hopefully you have the opportunity to hit that subscribe button, and we'll catch you in the next one, guys. If you'd like to see more, I'm going to share even more book ideas and other resources on my blog.